Hello everyone, and welcome to my CBS Y&R Full Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Billy receives disturbing news from Sally, and Abby becomes alarmed when Dominic disappears. Does Mariah kidnap Dominic? In the most recent Young and Restless preview, it's all about the kids, and regrettably, they're being used as pawns in some really bizarre games. Speaking of twisted, it appears like Mariah has been coerced into carrying out a risky scheme by Ian's ghost. Sally is finally forced to confront Billy the man-child and go directly to his mother. To what extent will Victor sink? It was clear that Victor would take action to exact revenge after Kane and Phyllis set the AI software against him and it started destroying Newman Enterprises from within. Regretfully, Victor is well positioned to hit Kane where it counts most. Adam then informs Chelsea of his father's scheme to employ Charlie, Matty, and Lily against Kane. Chelsea becomes terrified and questions whether Victor intends to abduct Kane's family members. Would Victor actually go so far as to abduct kids? Sally tattles to Billy's mother. Sally was furious to hear that Kane had offered Billy Chancellor's return, which had been Billy's long-standing preoccupation. Billy told Ashby they had a contract despite Jack, Sally, and others advising him it was a horrible idea to trust Kane. Billy's mother is contacted by Sally about the prospect of her son leaving Abbott Communication to become Chancellor. Billy is not happy about the redhead's action, but he should get ready because Sally informs him that Jill has gotten worse and that she spoke to his Uncle Snapper. What is Mariah planning? Mariah found herself scribbling Dominic's name on a piece of paper while continuing to avoid her relatives. She reached out and called Abby, but she hung up in a hurry before Ian showed up. The gal encouraged her to follow the plan and take the necessary action with relation to the family she assisted in starting. The following week, Abby becomes anxious when she and Devon are unable to locate Dominic and night is drawing in. Has the boy Mariah gave birth to been abducted? Young and Restless sets the stage to do the unthinkable, kill off a beloved vet. Young and Restless twist stokes fears that Jill dies. In its preview for the next week, The Young and the Restless takes a break from business as usual, with a focus on business. However, that was terrible news for the show's final original character, even while it was wonderful news for viewers weary of constant corporate machinations. A revealing phone call. Of course, the soap opera's game of musical CEOs was the source of the revelation. Billy was furious to find out that Sally had told his mother that he might be quitting the company. However, it turned out that the redhead had not had a chance to talk to Jill at all. Instead, Sally revealed that she had spoken to Billy's Uncle Snapper, who told her that Jill's heart condition had gotten worse. Would Young and Restless actually eliminate its lone surviving original character? Jill's diminishing role. It's difficult to believe that Jill would die at the hands of the powerful. However, at one point, we even considered Chance, her grandson. Jill's role has been drastically diminished in recent years, despite the fact that she drove a ton of stories for decades as she slept her way up the corporate ladder, shattering marriages and hearts in the process. In fact, Jess Walton, a two-time Emmy winner, has been showing up occasionally lately to reprimand Jill's son Billy, who, let's be honest, is almost always in need of a tongue-lashing. Another option: instead of eliminating Jill, the production might put her back in the Grand Dame role that was left empty when Jean Cooper, who played Catherine, passed away. Jill is the most knowledgeable person around the block, so who better to offer wise counsel? She has also softened over time and is no longer the hell-raising scheme queen that she once was. The Young and the Restless spoilers for the upcoming 2 weeks, from January 26 to February 6, indicate that Mariah Copeland runs with Dominic Winters, Detective Burrow digs, and Chelsea Lawson discloses a secret. In order to convince Kane Ashby that his family is in danger, Victor Newman will assign Adam Newman the responsibility of finding Lily Winters and the twins during the week of January 26 to 30th. Noah Newman will insist on accompanying Sienna Bacall when she informs him that it's time for her to return to Los Angeles. There will be a lot to talk about because Sienna might not want that either. Phyllis Summers will have to deal with some irate Sharon and Nick Newman drama as Victor gives Kane and Phyllis a foreboding message. Billy Abbott will receive information from Sally Spectra regarding Jill Abbott's heart setback, and she hopes that Billy will reconsider his pursuit of a Chancellor agreement. Will Sally formally offer the position since Audra Charles will receive a temping proposition later? Sally might believe that she should start making her own decisions and handle any reaction from investors later because Jill is preoccupied with health issues. Adam will then inform Chelsea Lawson that Victor intends to use Charlie Ashby, Matty Ashby, and Lily as leverage in his Kane conflict. Even if Victor isn't putting Kane's family in danger, the thought of his abducting them will worry Chelsea. Chelsea may tell Nikki Newman about Victor's activities since she will soon reveal something shocking to her. Adam may decide there is a better way to deal with all of this, though, because he will later change his mind on something. Although Victor would never harm Lily and the twins, he may feel compelled to trick Kane into believing they are in danger. Adam may disagree and determine that all three of them ought to be involved in the scheme. Lily, Charlie, and Matty would likely support Victor gaining the upper hand because they are enraged with Kane. Claire Newman and Kyle Abbott will need to settle some business while Nate Hastings comforts Victoria Newman about the chaos at Newman Enterprises. According to Y&R spoilers, Kyle and Claire may reconsider their strategy to eliminate Audra, so perhaps their collaboration will proceed with unexpected outcomes. Mariah Copeland will kidnap Dominic Winters, causing his parents to become extremely alarmed. As they look for answers, Devon and Abby Winters will be devastated by Dominic's disappearance. While Devon and Abby deal with yet another shock, Mariah will put Dominic in her car and quickly flee. Is there any CCTV footage that suggests Mariah is guilty or something similar? Detective Burrow will assist Abby and Devon in their search for Dominic during the week of February 2nd to 6th. Since Devon's private jet will eventually be used to follow a lead, Mariah and Dominic might go quite far. Tessa Porter and Daniel Romalotti Jr. will also be drawn into this bizarre plot once everyone knows Mariah is responsible for the kidnapping. Additionally, Sharon can become upset at Mariah's involvement and turn to Nick for comfort. Nick will be the one in need of support in the future because, regrettably, there's a strong probability he will be concealing a drug issue during all of this. According to previews for The Young and the Restless, there will be some surprises soon. Matt vows Newmans must pay after escaping from jail before trial. Spoilers for The Young and the Restless suggest that Sharon Newman will join the plot to exact revenge on Phyllis Summers. Sharon's revenge on Phyllis strikes back with Nick as rivalry reignites. Fans of Y&R can anticipate a lot of drama as Sharon will assist Nick Newman in retaliating when their rivalry resumes. After years of animosity, Phyllis and Sharon eventually came to terms with their shared captivity. Sharon and Phyllis were on the verge of becoming friends since they saved each other's lives during the chaos caused by Martin Laurent. But it's clear that Sharon is upset about Phyllis working with Kane Ashby on this whole Newman takeover scandal. Since Nick was unable to reach Phyllis, Sharon is also skeptical that her viewpoint will have much of an impact. Nevertheless, Sharon will choose to express her opinions. As a violent confrontation begins, any progress Sharon and Phyllis have made towards peace will blow up. Nick and Sharon will take a risky action against Phyllis during the week of January 26th to 30th. Phyllis will be pressured by Sharon and Nick to own up to her part in the chaos the Newmans are currently experiencing. It sounds like Nick and Sharon will get into a heated argument, but Phyllis will keep defending her behavior. Phyllis doesn't regret trying everything to succeed and acquire some actual authority in Genoa City because she felt like a mistreated loser for so long. Sharon might tell Phyllis that when they were imprisoned at that mental health facility, adopting a every woman for herself stance didn't work. They didn't get out of there until Phyllis and Sharon figured out how to work together. Sharon can contend that Phyllis' self-centeredness won't benefit her at this point either. Sharon can also tell out that Kane is equally self-centered and will likely burn Phyllis in the end. Naturally, we may presume that Phyllis will not change her current position. Since Nick has already offered to help grind Phyllis to dust, Sharon might decide to do just that. Phyllis will dig her heels in. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, January 27th, indicate that Dominic Winters will fall into Mariah Copeland's trap while Billy Abbott responds to terrible news. Nick will have a revenge assistant with Sharon by his side, so stay tuned for updates on any shocking news to come. Sally Spectra will discover that Jill Abbott's heart issues are getting worse after attempting to send her an SOS. Snapper Foster will make it apparent that Jill isn't ready for more stress at this time. After that, Sally will inform Billy on her efforts to get in touch with Jill and what she discovered from Snapper. Sally can encourage Billy to make amends with his mother and ensure he has no regrets because Jill's circumstances might be bad. Naturally, Sally would draw attention to the possibility that Billy and Jill's relationship could be completely destroyed by this Chancellor drama. Sally might question whether Billy truly wants to make his mother's life more difficult at this time, since Jill will eventually hear the news. We'll see if Billy's agreement with Kane Ashby is affected by this concerning information regarding Jill's health. Billy will have an opportunity to respond. Speaking about Kane, Victor Newman will issue a stern warning to him. Kane and Phyllis Summers will be informed by Victor that they should give up right away or they won't like what follows next. Victor is devising a scheme to trick Kane into thinking that Charlie Ashby, Lily Winters, and Matty Ashby are in danger. According to Y&R previews, Mariah will set a trap for Dominic and allow her shady side to take control. Mariah should have no problem enticing Dominic to join her for some fun because he will soon fall head over heels into it. When Devon and Abby Winters discover Dominic has disappeared, it will obviously not be enjoyable at all. According to teasers for The Young and the Restless, Dominic's abduction will cause some terrifying emotions, so keep an eye out. As Devon and Abby's son disappears, Victor sets his eyes on Kane and Phyllis in order to preserve his family's legacy. Mariah is revealing a side of herself to us that we don't often see, and by Friday, she is heading out of town. The Young and the Restless spoilers for January 26 to January 30th, 2026 are as follows. Victor hits Kane where it hurts, Sharon worries about Noah's future with Sienna, and Victoria steps up to preserve her family's legacy. Sally forces Billy's hand, Mariah visits her dark side, Devon and Abby's world is turned upside down, Nate consoles Victoria, and Audra receives an alluring offer. Adam has a change of heart, Kyle and Claire talk about unresolved business. Chelsea tells Nikki a secret, Nick and Sharon hold Phyllis responsible for her actions, Abby and Devon get shocking news, and Mariah sets out on the road. Mariah plots kidnapping, Sally plans life without Billy, and Mariah ends up alone in a motel room, haunted by her own fears and the cunning presence of Ian Ward. Ian drives her towards a plan that could permanently ruin Abby and Devon's lives as she obsesses over her history as Dominic's stand-in. Is Mariah going to do something she won't be able to undo? In this episode of The Young and the Restless, which airs on Friday, January 23, 2026 in the USA and one day later in Canada, Abby tells Devon about how the AI is destroying Newman Enterprises. Devon is upset that Kane is responsible for the antics that are destroying his wife's family business. He is relieved that Lily abandoned Kane because he is unreliable. Abby heads to the skating rink to pick up Dominic as Nate arrives. Devon finds it hard to believe that Lily's ex is attempting to undermine Victor Newman, but Nate assures him that Winter's tech team has made sure they should be safe against Kane's AI. This is not how it should have progressed. Devon questions whether there is a relationship between Nate and Victoria. Nate gives a headshake. Both he and Victoria are not yet ready for anything. Devon inquires as to whether he is still infatuated with Audra, saying that he is much better off without her. He should stop making fun of him for being unmarried. Nate advises him. Devon and Abby have it better than anyone else. Devon expresses gratitude to him for managing Winters. He asks if Nate will meet with Amy as he gets up to go. Nate declares that he will have lunch with her. Although they have conflicting schedules, Amy is staying with him. He claims that Amy is in pain and that he is concerned about her. Amy is present when Audra walks into the coffee shop. She expresses regret for the way she mistreated Nate. Is it possible to forgive her? Amy asks her to have a seat. She claims that her only motivation is sympathy. Audra claims that she paid the price for her error. Amy claims that she misses Audra and their mutual trust. Audra claims that although Nate gave her numerous opportunities to be truthful, she thought that lying was the safest course of action. She would stop at nothing to win his forgiveness. Holden enters. The sight of them together surprises him. Have they reconciled? According to Amy, they are merely conversing. Does he intend to meet Audra? Holden gives a headshake. Not now. He tells Amy that he misses Damien and loved him as a brother, so it must be difficult without him. Amy claims that Damien felt the same way about him. Holden grinned. He will allow them to speak. To place an order, he goes to the counter. Amy questions the nature of Audra's relationship with Holden. Audra gives a shrug. She knew Holden in Los Angeles, where he worked as a barman, so there isn't much to tell. but nothing thrilling. Amy believes Audra is lying. She's attempting to deceive her. Audra lets out a sigh. Is there nothing she can do to persuade her? According to Amy, she must earn forgiveness. She walks out of the coffee shop. Holden approaches Audra. After what she did to Nate, he believes it was kind of Amy to speak with her. Audra is reluctant to discuss Nate. She reminds him of their agreement to keep quiet about Los Angeles. She is fulfilling her commitment. Because she hasn't seen Claire recently, Holden questions whether she is merely keeping up her end. Why doesn't matter, according to Audra. Sally praises Holden for keeping Audra company as she walks into the cafe. Holden wishes them a fantastic remainder of the day. He walks away. Sally's arrival is appreciated by Audra. It was becoming uncomfortable. Sally assumed that. This time, what was it about? Is Holden wearing anything? Audra lets out a sigh. The past is the past. She inquires as to Sally's topic of interest. Sally claims that Billy is going to do something that she will not accept. He is going to disappoint her once more, and this will be the final time, in her opinion. Billy Chancellor was offered by Kane. Audra is taken aback. Once more. Billy can't accept since Kane will abandon him once more. Billy wants to say yes, but Sally isn't convinced it will happen. She believes she will never be able to communicate with Billy about it. According to Audra, Sally needs to make some decisions. Sally gives a nod. She needs to give Jill a call first. She must persuade Jill to allow her to bring Audra on board in order to put together a team she can rely on without Billy. Audra believes Jill won't consent. They don't have time to hire, Sally argues, so Jill must. She has the right to select her own employees after everything they've been through, provided Audra still desires to work for her. Audra grinned. Above all, she claims that if Sally can persuade Jill to hire her, she will be saving her life. Mariah's motel room. Mariah sits by herself in her motel room, scribbling on a notepad. She believes that she is a horrible person who ruins everything in her path and is unworthy of Tessa or Aria. How can she make things better, she wonders. As she keeps drawing, it becomes clear that Donovan, the boy to whom she served as a surrogate mother, is on her mind. After giving it some thought, she picks up her phone and calls Abby. She hangs up without saying anything after hearing Abby's voice. When Ian shows there, Mariah tells him to go. She is contemplating. She is stalling, according to Ian. All he wants is to guide and assist her. They've already discussed that this was the best course of action, so thinking time is over. Does she feel scared? Mariah isn't sure what she needs to do at the moment. Perhaps now is not the right moment. Ian claims that his purpose is to ensure that she follows the plan. Abby and Dominic get some hot chocolate from Chancellor Park Cafe and take a seat outside. She tells Dominic that even though he may not have developed inside of her, she still thinks he's cool and loves him. Dominic grinned. Mom, you too. They clink their hot chocolate mugs as Abby giggles. She answers the phone when it rings, but nobody answers. Devon arrives a little later and informs Dominic that he had excellent balance on the skating rink. Dominic gives a shrug. He stumbled. Devon says, it doesn't matter. He stood up again. He informs him that he will serve as his coach. At the restaurant, Nate and Society Amy meet. She laments the cold and claims to have been out and about, where she happened to run across Audra. She finds it challenging because she is reminded of her friend each time she sees Audra's face. Nate gives a nod. Amy and Audra were very close. Amy claims that when Audra betrayed Nate's confidence, that link was severed. Audra won't benefit from her desire to give her a respite. When she notices that Nate is depressed upon hearing Audra's name, she asks if Nate would ever be able to forgive her. Nate gives a shrug. Perhaps if Audra could alter the way she interacts with others. However, he is not seeking romance. Amy smiles. She wonders if Nate shares her desire to allow Audra back in. Mariah's motel room. Mariah goes back to her motel room and removes her coat. She browses over the photos she took of Devon, Abby, and Dominic on her phone. Ian finds it admirable that she served as a surrogate to enable that family. She is courageous and selfless. Mariah claims that she wasn't working alone. She remembers giving birth with Abby and Devon present. Ian claims that he feels as though he witnessed every one of those occasions through her eyes. Her soul is imprinted with the recollections. She brought the ideal present. Mariah tells him to stop since this is over and she won't follow through. In addition to being incorrect, this is nonsensical. According to Ian, the truth still stands. He assures us that life will be better after this. Adam informs Chelsea on Y&R the following week that Victor intends to use Charlie, Lily, and Matty as leverage against Kane. Billy is informed by Sally that she spoke with Snapper, who informed her that Jill's condition has gotten worse. Devon and Abby run around the home in a panic. Dominic has vanished.